On to the next Wednesday show. Arrow. Arrow, arrow, arrow. Now, again, this is I missed the show for 2 weeks, so bear with me. This is going to be a long one. But anyway, Arrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Oliver Queen is running for mayor. I know 2 weeks ago I said something's coming down the pipeline. What could it be? What could it be? Well, I mean, if you're on social media and Twitter, you all know Oliver Queen is running for mayor because Lance told him, Captain Lance told him, said, listen, this city, Star City, does not need a masked hero. It needs a hero without a mask. Seems like this week everything's about heroes. And Oliver Queen figured, well, why don't I be both? I could be the masked hero and protect my unmasked hero. I'll be both, and y'all can just live with it. So he decides to run for mayor. Not a lot of people are excited about that within the Arrow community. But, hey, guy's got to do what a guy's got to do. So, with Oliver Queen running for mayor, now Laurel Lance is supposed to be... Laurel Lance and Thea had gone back to meet Malcolm Merlyn, who is the new Ra's al Ghul, to resurrect Laurel's sister, Sarah, who Thea killed, and bring her back to life. And we find out some things about the Lazarus Pit, that it's not always your soul that comes back first. You may get some other people's soul, and Thea is kind of in this bloodlust type of thing. But right now, because she killed two of the League of Assassin members, her bloodlust has kind of died down. But she wasn't really dead when she went into the Lazarus Pit, so her soul is still intact. Sarah had been dead for 6 months to a year, so she's not really alive anymore, so her soul is gone. Just 100% gone. And that is a bit tougher to gain someone's soul back from than someone who is kind of dead. So Laurel has Sarah now that they're back in Star City. Laurel has Sarah tied up in the basement and is trying to use methods that you would usually use with like a dementia patient or an Alzheimer's patient, and just take pictures and just keep the pictures in front of her and say, this, right? This picture is me and you. We are brother and sister. This picture is you and Dad. And she shows her father, Captain Lance, I have Sarah. I have Sarah. And he doesn't see Sarah. He looks into her eyes, and Sarah is not there. Not at all. It is, which for a father who has lost his daughter, to see his daughter physically there, but not spiritually or, I don't want to say mentally, because she is mentally there, but like not spiritually and not emotionally there, it's got to be tough. So he confides in his new partner, Damien Dark, who is a bad guy, confides in him. And Damien Dark does know the ways of the League of Assassins. And Damien Dark says, listen, your daughter went to the Lazarus Pit and she was dead. You're going to have to kill her again, because that is not your daughter that is locked in the basement. So Captain Lance is about to do it. Laurel tries to stop her, but she escapes. Now, we all know Damien Dark has Hive under his pinky, but there's another team that's kind of tearing up Star City. And at the beginning, they busted into busted into kind of like a drug den, and you're like, freeze, police, this is the police. And then two other cops come in, they're like, freeze, this is the police. And you're sitting there like, well, who is actually the police? Well, turns out it was the first group of police officers that are dressed in SWAT was from the anti-vigilante squad. But you kind of find out they're the anti-everybody squad. Or anti-anyone who gets in their way squad. But they have the tools of the anti-vigilante task force squad type thing. So they're going around just doing what they need to do, and they're trying to take out... They are corrupt cops, and they're... this is now opening Lance's eyes, saying that, like, I have a corrupt police agency. And he's now starting to see that maybe Oliver Queen running for mayor will help me out, because then I can get Oliver Queen to give me more money, to weed out the bad cops. And then I could use the Green Arrow to help clean up the streets while I'm trying to get my police station back up and running. Great. Good, great, grand, wonderful. Felicity has to deal with something from her past when she gets a USB key, and it's she keeps getting a decrypted messages, and her new best friend, who happens to be her employee, who works in the R&D department, kind of like a Lucius Fox of the Arrow universe. He finds a glove that belongs to Ray Palmer, who is Atom. Atom, A-T-O-M, not Adam like Adam, A-D-A-M. So Ray Palmer happened to be Felicity's ex-boyfriend. So they discover that these files are a recording of when he died. Now, Felicity was there when he died, well, at least talking to him when he died, but she noticed something. She listened to it, and she noticed something a little weird on the recording. So she has this guy decrypt it, and he ends up doing so because he's a genius, and that's what they always do. And it turns out that Ray is still alive. Now, we, the viewers, knew that because he's in Legends of Tomorrow, which they should not have maybe, like, put him front and center on the thing. I mean, you know, spoiler alert on CW's part and DC's part. But anyway, we all know that Ray Palmer is alive, and Felicity finds out that he's alive. So we're probably going to see him come back into the Arrow universe a little bit. Not too much, because he's got some Legends of Tomorrow stuff to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Now, Oliver Queen, now that he's running for mayor, he needs a new office. So when it comes to a new office for Oliver Queen, it becomes a new layer for the Team Arrow. So thanks to Cisco back in Central City, from The Flash, Oliver Queen, John Diggle, Laurel Lance, Thea Queen, and Felicity Smoke get a new layer. And it seems pretty cool. It's a lot better than what I got going here. That's what I got to say here, although this is pretty sweet. I have to admit myself, this is pretty darn sweet. But anyway, they get a new layer and new toys and whatnot. And it turns out the layer's not fully functioning. And I mean, the Imperial Force knows all about non-functioning type things. Although Grand Moff Tarkin, you know, he knows when things are fully operational to take out stuff. Now, the second episode of Arrow, we're introduced to a character that I loved. The movie that I've never read the comic that involved him. I should, because I think he's a great character. I did like the movie he's in. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. And he was played by an actor that is kind of a niche actor, dude. And that was my poor impression of him. Keanu Reeves playing John Constantine. Now, that was in the movie version. However, NBC decided to roll out a comic book version, a television version of Constantine. And the actor who played that Constantine shows up in Arrow. So the second episode, in the flashbacks to Oliver Queen being back on the island, he's getting in trouble with the group that he's infiltrating, and apparently he has to go take this other guy out to go find something that their leader wants. And this other guy happens to be John Constantine. For those of you who don't know who John Constantine is, John Constantine deals with the magic of the world. Exorcism, demons, ghouls, you name it. If it's something magical, he's dealt with it. Now, the movie was not really like the best comic book movie out there, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine, and it's cool to watch over again. It's just a lot of fun, and probably one of the better representations of the devil. He comes in a white suit, but he's got oil dripping from his cuffs and his pant legs and stuff like that. So you do get a sense of what the devil kind of is, that he is a fallen angel. An angel being that he's in all white, but the Greek look and oil and stuff of the underworld has kind of gotten onto his white thing, and that's the movie Devil. I don't know if we've ever seen the TV show Devil one in John Constantine, the TV show. However, we will never see that because it was canceled, unfortunately, after one season. But they're bringing him back because Oliver helped Constantine find something precious of his and owes him one. So now Constantine is called in because Sarah Lance is really not breaking out of her spell. So Sarah Lance will now... so they need someone to not do an exorcism, but to sort of a resurrection, a spiritual resurrection. And the best man to do that would be John Constantine. The chain-smoking, devil-smashing, English-British type. So Constantine comes to Star City to help the gang out, get Sarah Lance back. And I gotta say, Constantine is a delightful character. That might be a comic book series that I start reading because he looks like a lot of fun. Very sarcastic. In the movie version, Keanu Reeves was just as sarcastic, but this one was doing a great job. And I'm sorry that it got canceled. It's one of those shows that just got canceled too soon. But he does his little magic with everything like that, and yeah, he's good to go. Pretty much good to go. And all at the same time, this whole episode of these whole two episodes, they're still dealing with lies and deceit within the group. Sarah and Thea lied to Oliver about going to Ra's al Ghul. Oliver lied to Laurel, telling her that Thea was saved by the Lazarus Pit and that it could possibly do the same to Sarah, and all this other lies and deceit and whatnot. But hopefully now all the lies are out. Everything is done with, and Laurel, Thea, Sarah, Oliver can all live in peace. No more lying. Everyone can have a great time defending the city against Damien Dark and Hive. We'll see. Damien Dark does kind of give... Oliver, another thing I forgot was Oliver discovers that Captain Lance has this kind of partnership with Damien Dark. Doesn't like it, but he does kind of the same thing that the Countess's ex-lover does with his mother, and makes Captain Lance kind of infiltrate Damien Dark and get them intel on everything. So Captain Lance does a couple of like odd jobs for Damien Dark, including erasing some people's names off of a list of those he had killed. One of which is John Diggle's brother, and John does not like that at all. But when Captain Lance confronts Damien about the list and how he noticed John's brother's name on it being erased, he says, "What gives?" And Damien says, "All right, if you want to know," and gives him some sort of preposterous reason. He says, "All right, here is the reason. Here's the reason he had to die. He wasn't a good soldier. He was a bad guy, and he needed to go down." Captain Lance reads the file, gives it to John. John now has closure. Still wants to take down Hive because that's what everybody else wants to do. However, does not want to do it for personal reasons. So now that whole emotional aspect of human nature that comes in, where people are like, "I'm going to kill him because he killed my brother," that is gone. That is complete and utterly gone. So Arrow, so now they could focus on taking this Damien Dark down, because he really is just messing things up for Star City. And he's not doing the same thing as Theo Galavan, where he's tearing down the city only to himself bring it back up. He wants to change the city, but he wants to exterminate it. And that's how he feels will terminate the city. And a lot of plots go this route, where they want to destroy something in order to bring it back up, to start from the beginning. That's where a lot of like dystopia, apocalyptic kind of worlds go to. So it's a big undertaking, but Damien thinks he can do it, and Oliver and his crew think that they can stop him. So hats off to them for attempting to do that. And we wish you only the best, Oliver. Only the best. You're the best around. Nothing's ever going to get you down. Now, jumping into Thursday shows. Start off with Heroes Reborn. Things are getting good. We found Hero. All right? Hero. Yeah, Hero. Hero, our wonderful time bender, takes Noah Bennett back to June 13th. Now, June 13th is kind of like the 9/11 for the TV show. June 13th was supposed to be an event where Evos, who are mutants, who are metahumans, and who are inhuman. Those are all the terms that all these different shows and movies are using to just basically describe these guys are different. This was a time where Evos and humans were going to come together and celebrate their togetherness. And I forgot the banner. So Heroes Reborn. They were all going to come together, but something happened where a huge bomb went off and killed lots of people and lots of Evos. And people are blaming the Evos. Evos are blaming the people. It's just a messy thing. It is just absolutely messy. So Hero, who is freed from his digital jail, which I thought was kind of cool and kind of a nice nod to video games and stuff like that. Like one of the heroes in the show was actually a digital computer version, kind of like if you were to take your character from, well, why don't I just mention it, from Fallout, which because that comes out Tuesday. You take your character from Fallout, and basically with the switch of a gun, or in this case, she was able to pull her sword out. She becomes digitized into the game, but then when she puts the sword back in its sheath, she becomes a human being. And a number one player who is huge on streaming, which, you know, this is what we're doing. This is where I am. I'm streaming on Twitch. A huge streamer, not necessarily with Twitch, because that's not in the Heroes universe, but discovers her and all this kind of stuff. So she discovers that she needs to save her father, but it turns out her father's not the one imprisoned in the game. It's Hiro Nakamura. I'm trying to do it with like a nice like Hiro Nakamura. I got it. Nice. He saves. So they have to save Hiro Nakamura. And in doing so, frees him from his jail and thus being able to use his powers. So Noah asks him to take him back to this June 13th, which is the big event. And in doing so, they hopefully don't change the time, change the butterfly, like a butterfly effect type thing. We find out that Claire Bennett, who was played by Hayden Patinera, I think I got that name wrong, but Hayden, who's in Nashville now, she didn't want to join Heroes Reborn, which is okay. So they killed off her character. Not a problem. However, if you're going to take one of the hottest actresses in that show and kill her off, you better give it a damn good reason. Turns out childbirth is that damn good reason. So she gives birth to twins, and we get a little bit of a Luke Leia type thing going on where they separate the twins, and we find out that the boy, the male twin, the male baby, has the same powers as Peter Petrelli had in Heroes, in the original Heroes, where he mimics the powers that of people that he's near. So if he's near another Evo, take for instance becoming invisible, he is able to take that power just by being in the same vicinity as that person. So that is what the boy has. The girl happens to have the extraordinary power of bringing life back, kind of like what her great uncle or her uncle could do. There was a character in the regular Heroes, I forget what his name was, Mr. Linderman. Mr. Linderman was his name. He had the same ability where he could recreate life. So everybody is just waiting for the world to get to be destroyed, absolutely decimated. And she is going to bring life back. Now, this other woman, Cravid is her last name. I think it's Dr. Hannah Cravid. Sounds familiar? I don't know. Definitely not Michaela. But she wants to destroy the world, not really get rid of the Evos, but she knows that the world is going to become destroyed. So she's trying to save those who can rebuild this world. Hey, World Hunter, how are you? Or War 100. Hola. Buenas noches. So yeah. So she's trying to do all this. They separate the two kids. Angela Petrelli, the mother of Peter and Nathan Petrelli, takes the daughter, and Hiro takes the son. Now, what they decide to do is actually very interesting because we see now the whole time that this show has been rolling, we've seen a girl who's been growing grass and trying to control the Northern Lights and all this kind of wonderful stuff. And then we see we're talking about we'll do some girl problems, but meh. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. We're talking about Heroes Reborn, and then I've got How to Get Away with Murder coming up next. So anyway, back to Heroes Reborn. So we know that the boy has teleportation powers, which is kind of cool because, you get to go anywhere around the world. And he gets it from Hiro Nakamura, who is his father, and all this like you get to see like the beginnings and stuff. So they had the great idea of, well, in a year is when everything's going to go to hell, after a year after June 13th. So what they do is they take the two babies and they bring them back in time so that they're teenagers by the time this all happens, and that their powers are manifested and they can control their powers. And now we get to kind of see everything that we have seen, where the boy is relearning his powers and the girl is like on this mission, come back to reality. It's not a game, it's a TV show. I'm talking about TV shows right now. Have you ever heard of Heroes? And now everything's starting to come together. So, and you find out that the weird man with the penny for your thought, yeah, he's actually kind of like the Haitian, although he just gives you a penny, or you touch a penny and you kind of lose your memory and stuff like that. So it's cool. There's a lot of like capturing up here and stuff. If you like superheroes and stuff like that, and you want off the cusp kind of action and whatnot, World Hunter, definitely check out Heroes. It's on Netflix. And then NBC has got Heroes Reborn, which is kind of a new telling, and it's got some of the same actors. Not the best production-wise as a show, like the acting and all that kind of stuff is not the best, but however, the powers are cool, and if you're really into superheroes and stuff like that and seeing like different powers and whatnot, it's cool. Oh, you just missed me talking about Arrow. You just missed Arrow. I'm a huge fan of Big Bang Theory. Huge fan. And Family Guy and Simpsons, classics. They're classics. I don't know why I just called Family Guy a classic. It's not that old, but it kind of is. I don't know. As far as anime goes, I've watched a couple of episodes here and there of Naruto, Cowboy Bebop, and my friends told me to get into Full Metal Alchemist. So are those good shows to start watching anime? Because I kind of want to get into it. So I have watched a couple of the original Star Trek, and I have to say I'm a fan. I'm more of a Star Wars nerd, Star Wars fan. But that being said, I do like the Star Trek movies, and it influenced me enough to go watch the original show, and I've watched a couple episodes, and I do like it. So, I'm more of a Star Wars fan because that's where my heart went first. But it's cool. I like this banter. Star Trek, yeah. Yeah, give me some ideas. Just let me know. Let me know of some good anime. Let me know. Just type them in. I'll look them up. I'll definitely look. I know they're mainstream, but talking to an anime like toddler here. All right, I always go with the mainstream first. Just dip my toe in the water and then I come out. So where were we? Heroes Reborn. And I never watched the original. You're killing me. War Hunter. But anyway, Heroes Reborn. So now we're starting to get into the meat of the story for everything. I'm really excited to see where they go with this. Hiro Nakamura is just he's so lovable, but he's become so badass. And I've been rewatching Heroes in my off time, and in times that I'm not watching Trailer Park Boys, I'm watching Heroes. And I just saw like Hiro Nakamura become his badassery. Oh my goddess, Dora, and school prison if you want, die laughing. All right, I'll put those down right now. So, yeah, Heroes Reborn, getting into the meat of everything. Noah Bennett kind of also messed up a little bit, because now you get to see, Who to Trust? What's going on, Who to Trust? What's up? You get to see, oh, thank you, War Hunter. Thank you so much for the host. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. This is cool. Thank you for following. This is huge. We're having a good night here. We're having a good night here on TV Talk at the new nerd in town. Thank you so much, War Hunter, for hitting that follow button. If you don't know where it is, it's over here. It's over here. It's over here. It's like a little heart. How long? Oh, Who to Trust? Welcome, folks. Welcome. I've been streaming days and weeks. I've been streaming for like 2 months now. 2 months? A month? About a month. I've been streaming for a month. I started like early October, about a month ago. I've got all my VODs and stuff like that on YouTube. Just type in the new nerd in town in your search and you'll see my lovely face. In more cartoonish. But yeah, so that's Heroes Reborn. Who to Trust? Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much, War Hunter, for the follow and the host. That is huge. That is a first for the new nerd in town. Thank you for the host. Wow. And thank you for the follow. Who to Trust? Wow. Where was I? Sithonis. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Wow. 3 of them in like 2 minutes. What is going on? Yeah, man, shoot me a message for tips and stuff. I've only been doing these kind of streams. I haven't done gaming streams yet. So I'd love like tips and whatnot, but I've just been doing these TV talks. I'm waiting for Battlefront to come out, because that'll be my first game that I start doing gaming streams and stuff. Got a lot going on. Got a lot of TV shows that I talk about and go through. But yeah, man, shoot me a message. Send me a private message in Twitch, and we'll definitely talk. We will definitely talk. But thank you so much for the follow, all of you guys. Wow, this is awesome. I don't know what to do with myself. But anyway, that's Heroes Reborn. We're getting into the meat of it.